Happy holidays, Rainbow Heads, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, hello, how are you? My name is Caitlin Ford. I'm a 10-year veteran hairstylist as well as an award-winning hair colorist who specializes in really weird hair color. Today I'm super excited because today is my holiday special. We're going to be doing some really crazy over-the-top hair today. Before we get started today, I wanted to let you guys know today's looks are going to be more about fun than they are practicality. So let's bear that in mind as we partake in today's hair festivities. Today I'm also going to be giving away one of my previous wig creations. This has been a very highly anticipated giveaway. I'm actually going to be giving away my inverted hair color wig. So if you'd like to find out how you can win that, stick around to the end of the video and all the details will be there for you guys. Today I'm going to be showing you guys not one, not two, but 3 different hair color looks today, as well as a little bit of hairstyling. And I am super excited about these looks. I think that they're super fun, albeit, as I said, not particularly practical. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this tutorial. Now, what would the holidays be without a Christmas tree, right? I actually didn't get around to setting up my Christmas tree this year. It has just been super crazy busy. If you are a hairstylist, you know that December is one of the busiest months of the year. But not only that, I've also been working very hard in my spare time to produce and edit content for YouTube. And it has literally taken up every single spare second of my life. I'm actually not going to sleep tonight because I'm going to be editing this video all night long. But for my very first look, I'm going to be creating a Christmas tree out of hair. But I didn't want to do the traditional Christmas tree colors. As you can see, I've already got Christmas going on with this wig, so we don't really need to do the red and green thing. I really loved the idea of doing like a pink on pink theme with the tree. So that's what we're going to do today. I ultimately wanted to create a pink on pink themed Christmas tree. I also wanted to implement hollow again. I kind of planned my sectioning out around my styling. As I said, I wanted to create sort of a Christmas tree look, but I also wanted to have some hollow in there. So I did this kind of off-kiltered sectioning on the top, which you guys are going to be able to see the sectioning much better actually once the color is on. So this sort of off-center section at the top, this is going to all get painted pink. And then as you can see, there's another asymmetrical section underneath that, which I'm going to do the hollow hair effect on, painting in all of my lovely little rainbow bands. And then I'm going to do another row of pink and then hollow again at the bottom. So kind of the idea behind this placement is I sort of wanted to have a pink Christmas tree with a holographic garland. So that was kind of the idea behind this sectioning. And now it's time to make our Christmas tree. I started by curling the hair. So of course I'm using Gotta Be Glued hairspray for this because this hairspray is basically just aerosoled super glue. And then I created this like bat comb batting at the top of the hair to create this sort of like cone shaped structure so that I could start building my tree around it. And then piece by piece I just positioned my hair up on top of this shape and kind of swirled it around and created this sort of like Dr. Seuss Christmas tree swirly thingamajig. And what's hilarious about this is like this really speaks to how strong this hairspray is, but I did not use a single pin for this look. This was all hairspray. And of course, no tree would be complete without the decorations, so I went ahead and put some ornaments in the tree, and of course a beautiful star tree topper. And yeah, this was super extra and super ridiculous, but I'd seen a bunch of other Christmas tree hairstyles on Instagram, and so I just wanted to try it out. I just thought it was super hilarious and just wanted to do something fun. Obviously, this isn't a real client, and my mannequin doesn't care what ridiculous stuff I do to her. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this beautiful, festive, pink on pink Christmas tree. Also, if this is your first time on my channel, welcome to the weird side of YouTube. For my second holiday look, I wanted to do something inspired by candy cane. Some of you guys saw the preview of this in a recent community post that I did. Today, yet again, we are working with creepy mannequins because mannequins are like a fifth of the cost of wigs. I mean, it just kind of is what it is, you guys. And I know they're super creepy looking, but I do not have unlimited funds right now, and I can't afford to keep buying wig after wig after wig, so sometimes we gotta make a compromise here and go back to the creepy mannequin head. I decided to go ahead and tone my mannequin's head first. Typically I would use like a demi-permanent toner or a purple shampoo, but I was working out of my studio at my house today and I didn't have any purple shampoo or like a regular toner. So I actually mixed up a little dot of Trillion Tones Black with clear and painted this all over my mannequin's head and let that sit for about 20 minutes just to kind of cut a little bit of the yellow out and help give her a little bit more of a white-ish feel. Her color isn't quite light enough to actually be platinum looking, so we're just gonna get as close as we can here. For the sectioning, I parted off the top in this horseshoe shaped section. This top section is going to be kind of a veil over our color design in the end. And then I'm going to be adding in my design right underneath that. Originally, I was going to paint the entire underneath of this head of hair. However, this entire project was a lot more time consuming than I originally anticipated. And so I decided to color block just this section from underneath my first section to just above the ear, going across the back of the head, and I left out everything that was underneath that. This placement is yet another progressive placement pattern, which by now you guys have seen in many of my videos if you guys have watched my other videos. And for this look, it is just a matter of color blocking in our candy cane stripes, and I opted to do a red alternating with green stripe. So yeah, we'll just keep over directing our sections towards our very first section until we get all the way through our color blocking and to the other side of the head. Something I was a little conflicted about for this look was whether or not I should paint the stripe in between that in the end decided to leave out. I was trying to decide if I should go ahead and paint that with like a clear just to kind of block that color off and hopefully try to prevent bleeding, but here's my conflict with that. I was afraid that if I tried to paint in between the green and the red, because those colors are so high contrast between that blonde that was left out in the middle, I was afraid that inevitably I would just end up dragging color in between the stripes anyway, and then it would end up kind of muddying up the look of that blonde. So in the end for this look, I decided to leave that as a negative space and just not color it at all. So that part of this look was entirely experimental of something that I hadn't tried before with these colors in particular. Once I had my colors on, I went ahead and let it process for 20 minutes and then rinsed with cold water. Now here's where I'm going to admit something to you guys and keep it completely 100. I was not 100% happy with how this came out. I hadn't really done anything exactly like this look before. Obviously I've done progressive placements before, but I was really hoping to see a little bit more contrast between the white lines and the rest of the lines in the color, and I wasn't really thrilled with how this looked in the end. I do think that the colors, even though I had my water set to like super freezing cold, my colors did end up bleeding on the negative spaces in between my color, which was really unfortunate because I think it ended up kind of blurring everything. So I didn't get that really nice, like, distinct candy cane striped hair that I was looking for, which I was pretty bummed about, to be honest. I think if I would have placed this more at a horizontal rather than on a vertical like I usually do, that these lines would have ended up looking a lot more distinct and it would have definitely looked a lot more like candy cane. But the thing is, when you do this type of color work and you're kind of experimenting around, sometimes you have to accept that things aren't going to come out the way that you expect them to. The arc to learning creative color is a lot longer than other areas of the beauty industry. You know, with makeup, if you are practicing something and you mess up, you can wipe it off and start over. With nails, same thing. If you mess something up, you can wipe it off and you can start over. With a head of hair, once you've committed to doing something to it, you pretty much don't know how it's going to turn out until you completely finish the head of hair, which in this case was a several hours long process, even for this one little color blocked section. And so you don't have the opportunity to learn about a mistake that you've made until you see everything in the finish. So going forward, if I were to have to redo this again, I would definitely change my strategy so that I could get more of like the distinct striped look that I was going for. And I think that I probably would have in the end gone ahead and placed a little bit of clear in between my red and green stripes to help prevent a little bit of bleeding. I think in the end, had I done that, it definitely would have helped to prevent some of that bleeding, or at least protected that hair a little bit. But this definitely wasn't an instance where I could just scrap this look and leave it out completely, because I already included a preview of this in a community post I did about this. And, you know, I just think it's better for me to just be honest with you guys when something doesn't work out or turn out 100% the way that I think that it's going to, because at the end of the day, as hairstylists, us making mistakes and sharing those mistakes helps each of us grow and learn without having to go through the process of making those mistakes ourselves. I just want you guys to know, especially those of you who are hairstylists, because I do have a large following of hairstylists and hairstylists who kind of aspire to do this type of work. I just want you guys to understand that it's okay to mess up. You know, I've been doing creative color now for about 5 years, and I've learned a lot in that time just by trying and failing things. So I think it's important for you guys to see kind of the failure side of doing things, because ultimately the failures are what causes us to grow. You know, that's sort of like a metaphor, I feel like, for life in general. I also think that I kind of redeemed myself in the styling for this. I came up with a pretty cute hairstyle that worked really, really well with this color and was very holiday worthy in my opinion, so we're gonna go into that next. I will just say that I was really glad I left this section out on top of the head so that it could kind of act as a veil all over this color, because I really feel like this color almost looked better kind of looking through that veil. I feel like it helped to kind of diffuse it enough and kind of just give a little bit of a peek of the color and kind of hid the mistakes that were made in the color itself. So I thought that definitely was a sort of redeeming quality of this hair color. As far as the hairstyle goes, I wanted to show you guys something today that would be easy for you guys to do on your own hair if you're headed to like a holiday party, or if you're going to New Year's Eve party, just something that would be somewhat doable on your own hair, or if you like to do your friend's hair, or if you're a hairstylist. I just wanted to show you guys a really quick, easy little updo here that you don't necessarily have to have color like this for, but it did end up, I feel like, kind of working with the hair color. I've mentioned previously that whenever you're doing this type of color work, if you pull the hair into the direction that you place the color in, you're going to get a really distinct view of that color. So especially when you're doing these sort of lined looks, you'll get a really nice, like, crispier kind of look at that line. So I wanted to do something kind of asymmetrical with the styling, pull everything over to the side that it was pulled to when I placed the color so that I could get a little bit more of that distinct line work. I parted off the top section of the hair from the bottom section, and one of the easiest things to do in the world as far as like creating an updo is to simply braid the hair. You're going to pull out the edges of your braid. You're going to turn the braid around itself and pin it into place. And then I'm going to take my top section and kind of crisscross it and pin those tails in around that braided bun. And then as you guys can see here, I had one of these big, gigantic, pearl covered 90s style snap clips. You guys, I am obsessed with these snap clips. They're all over Instagram, Pinterest, everything. And I think they could just take any hairstyle and just make it instantly like bougie. And I love it. So I took one of those and slipped it in the side here. And I just love how this bun kind of looks a bit like a holiday bow. I love how you can kind of see the colors going through the bun mixed in with the blonde. So yeah, when this was styled and everything, I definitely wasn't as mad at the hair color. And I thought this would be a fun hairstyle to show you guys because it is a pretty doable hairstyle. It ended up being more like an ugly Christmas sweater rather than a candy cane like I originally intended. But you know, sometimes that's just how things go, especially if you're trying something that you haven't tried before with hair. And that's why you try stuff out on a mannequin head and not on a wig that you spend hundreds of dollars on, especially techniques you've never tried before. So that just leaves one more color for our holiday special. And as you probably guessed, it's the one that's sitting on my head right now. And the very final look of this holiday special is of course going to be the wig that's on my own hair, which actually is the exact same wig from my Halloween pop art hair color. I decided to go ahead and reuse it because yellow was the perfect undertone for creating the other colors that I wanted to use on it, which were of course red and green. I mixed up kind of a magenta based red and did that on one side of my wig, and then kind of a blue leaning green on the other side of the wig. And the yellow kind of helped to enhance the undertones of those colors and came out to the perfect red and green Christmas colors for this split personality look. Definitely a really good reuse, I think, of this wig. So that is it for our holiday hair color spectacular. Even though these looks were a little bit out there, a little bit even more out there than what I usually do, which is really saying something. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got something out of it today. So now all that's left to do is give away this inverted color wig. If you want to win this very coveted inverted color wig, all you have to do is make sure that you're subscribed to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below. On New Year's Eve, I will pick one commenter at random to win the wig, and I'll announce that in the community posts. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your holiday season. And remember guys, hair completes the look. I'll see you later, rainbow heads.